Welcome, my name is Daniel. Glad you stopped by. Today we're going to talk about investments.
Welcome back to the channel. Today we're diving deep into a fascinating, high-potential business model that many have heard about, but few truly understand. Buying the contents of abandoned self-storage units at auction in London and reselling them for profit. You've probably seen shows like Storage Wars and thought, could I do that in the UK? The short answer is yes, but the reality is very different from TV. In this video, I'll walk you through the entire process, the legal framework, where to find auctions, how to evaluate units, pricing strategies, where to sell, tax obligations, and real-world case studies with actual numbers. Let's get started. First, let's clear up a major misconception. You cannot simply find an abandoned container on a London street and claim its contents. That's theft. UK property law is strict. However, there is a completely legal avenue: self-storage facility auctions. When a tenant stops paying rent for their storage unit, the facility operator has the right, under the Torts, Interference with Goods Act 1977 and their rental agreement, to sell the contents to recover unpaid fees. But there's a process. They must send multiple notices, wait typically 4 to 12 weeks of non-payment, and often publish a public notice. Only then can they auction the contents. This is your opportunity. You're not buying the container. You're buying the rights to whatever is inside. It's a high-risk, high-reward asset class. One unit might contain vintage Rolex watches worth £5,000. Another might be filled with moldy textbooks that cost you £200 to dispose of. Understanding this risk-reward balance is critical. So where do you find these auctions in London? Major storage networks like Big Yellow, SafeStore, and Access Self-Storage occasionally hold auctions, but they rarely advertise them publicly to avoid crowds. Your best strategy is multi-pronged. First, monitor specialized auction aggregator websites. Storage Auctions UK, BidSpotter, and AuctionZip often list UK storage sales. Second, build relationships. Call or visit storage facilities in industrial zones like Park Royal, Tottenham, Croydon, or Greenford. Introduce yourself as a serious buyer, leave your business card, and ask to be added to their auction notification list. Many auctions are communicated via email or WhatsApp groups to a closed network of regular buyers. Third, network with other resellers. Join Facebook groups like UK Storage Auction Buyers, or attend local car boot sales to meet people in the trade. Information flows through community channels. Before you bid, prepare financially and legally. Register as a sole trader with HMRC. It's free and takes 10 minutes online. This legitimizes your activity and prepares you for tax reporting. Most auctions require a refundable deposit, £100 to £250. To register as a bidder, bring ID and proof of address. Understand the auction terms. Payment is usually due immediately via cash, bank transfer, or card. You typically have 24 to 48 hours to completely empty the unit, and you buy as is, where is, with no guarantees. Bring essentials to viewing day: a strong flashlight, units can be dark, a tape measure to gauge volume, notepad for notes, and wear sturdy shoes. Remember, during viewing, you can only look from the doorway. No touching, no entering. Your evaluation skills are everything. Viewing day is your most critical moment. You have 2 to 5 minutes per unit to decide its potential. Develop a systematic scan technique. First, assess volume. How many boxes, furniture pieces, large items? More volume isn't always better. It could mean more junk to dispose of. Look for tells of value. Branded boxes, e.g., Leica, Dyson, Apple. Musical instrument cases, tool chests, vintage suitcases, artwork frames, or sealed electronics packaging. Be cautious of red flags: strong odors, mold, smoke, pests, visible liquid damage, or piles of low-value items like old magazines. Mentally categorize what you see: high-value potential, electronics; collectibles, tools; medium, furniture, clothing, books; low/disposal, broken items, trash. Set a strict maximum bid before the auction starts. Use this formula: max bid equals estimated resale value times 0.4 minus estimated removal/disposal costs. Why 40%? You need margin for platform fees. eBay takes 13%, transportation, cleaning, repairs, and your time. Example, if you estimate contents could sell for £1,000 and removal costs £150, your max bid equals £1,000 times 0.4 minus pound. 150 equals £250. Never exceed this limit in the heat of bidding. Auctions can trigger emotional decisions. Discipline protects your capital. Start with low-stakes auctions, 50 to £200 units. To learn without significant risk. Track every bid, win or lose. In a simple spreadsheet. Date, facility, unit hashtag. Your bid, winning price, notes on contents. This data becomes invaluable for refining your strategy. You won the unit. Now the real work begins. You typically have 24 to 48 hours to completely clear it. Arrange transport in advance. Rent a van, Enterprise, Zipcar, or hire a man with van service via TaskRabbit or Checkatrade. Budget £50 to £150 for transport, depending on distance and volume. Bring supplies, heavy-duty garbage bags, packing tape, bubble wrap, gloves, masks, and a basic toolkit. Safety first. Wear PPE, gloves, mask. Sturdy boots. Units can contain biohazards like mold, rodent droppings, or sharp objects. At the unit, work systematically. First, remove obvious trash and hazardous items. Dispose of properly. London commercial waste disposal costs £30 to £100 per skip load. Next, separate personal documents/photos. Ethically destroy these, shred, rather than selling. Then, categorize remaining items. Sell immediately, high demand. Easy to list. Sell after cleaning/repair, needs work. Hold for research, uncertain value. Donate, low value but usable. Take photos of everything before moving. This helps with inventory and insurance. Pro tip, label boxes by category as you pack them into the van. Electronics untested. Vintage books, furniture large. This saves hours during sorting at your workspace. Many beginners underestimate the time required. Clearing and transporting. A medium unit can take 4 to 8 hours. Factor this labor cost into your profitability calculations. If your time is worth £15 per hour, an 8-hour job costs £120 in opportunity cost. Now for the money-making phase, pricing and selling. Never price based on what an item costs new or what you feel it's worth. Use data-driven pricing. For each item, search eBay UK. Filter by sold listings to see actual sale prices from the last 90 days. This is your market value. Example, you find a vintage Polaroid camera. New ones sell for £200 plus, but sold listings show £45 to £85 depending on condition. Price competitively at £65 to ensure a quick sale. Choose the right platform for each item type. eBay, best for collectibles, electronics, branded items. Fees, 13% plus payment processing. Reach, global. Facebook Marketplace, ideal for furniture. Large items, local pickup. Fees, usually free for local sales. Fast turnover. Vint/Depop, perfect for clothing, accessories, vintage fashion. Lower fees, younger audience. Car boot sales, great for quick cash on small items. No fees, immediate payment. Find local events via Car Boot Junction. Specialist auction houses, for high-value antiques, £500 plus. Consider consigning to a local auctioneer. Fees 20–30%. But they handle marketing and authentication. Pricing psychology matters. Use 0.95. Endings, £24.95 feels cheaper than £25. Offer bundle deals. Buy 3 vintage books for £20. For slow-moving items, implement a 14-day rule. If no views/offers after 2 weeks, reduce price by 15 to 20%. Better to recover capital and reinvest than let inventory stagnate. Track everything: item, purchase cost, allocated from unit price, listing date, sale price, fees, net profit. This data reveals which categories yield the best ROI. Let's talk taxes, the unglamorous but essential part. In the UK, if you buy and resell with profit intent, HMRC considers this trading. You must report income via self-assessment. Keep meticulous records, auction receipts, van rental invoices, disposal fees, platform fees, mileage logs, 45p/mile tax-free allowance for business use. Expenses are deductible, reducing your taxable profit. If your annual turnover exceeds £85,000, you must register for VAT. Even below that, you pay income tax on net profit after expenses at your marginal rate, 20%, 40%, or 45%. Use accounting software like FreeAgent or QuickBooks. Self-employed to simplify tracking. Consider consulting an accountant specializing in small traders. A £200 annual fee can save you thousands in missed deductions. Real case study. In March 2024, I won unit number 47 at a Croydon storage auction for £180. Contents: 30+ boxes, a vintage bicycle, tools, and household items. Removal cost: £90, van rental plus skip. Sorting time: 6 hours. I sold. Bicycle on Facebook Marketplace for £220. Power tools on eBay for £310 total. Vintage kitchenware for £85. Books for £40. Unsold/low value. Items donated or disposed, £30 fee. Total revenue: £655. Total costs: £180 unit, plus £90 removal, plus £30 disposal, plus £85 eBay/PayPal fees, equals £385. Net profit: £270. Time invested: 14 hours. Effective hourly rate: £19 per hour plus asset acquisition experience. Not bad for a side hustle. Scaling strategies: once profitable, reinvest profits into better equipment, professional lighting for photos. Van deposit: expand to multiple auctions per week, or specialize in a niche, vintage audio. Mid-century furniture, where you develop expertise and higher margins. Some successful UK resellers eventually open their own vintage shops or wholesale to other dealers. Final thought: this isn't get rich quick. It's a business requiring research, discipline, hard work, and continuous learning. Start small, document your journey, and scale intentionally. If you found this valuable, smash that like button. Subscribe for more financial literacy content, and drop a comment. What's the most interesting item you've ever found in a secondhand purchase? See you in the next video.
Now for the most important part, don't forget to subscribe to the channel and hit that like button. It's the best motivation for me to keep making videos. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.